welcome back to my channel. So today I'm filming in the salon as I don't really have much on at the moment, and I thought the quick half an hour that I've got, I'll just film a quick video so I can upload something to my channel because it's been quite a while. Today I wanted to talk about returning to work after you've had a baby or your maternity leave is finished. I thought this would be a good video just to sit down and tell you all how I did it. So when you return to work after having a baby, you feel a massive range of emotions. You can be excited, nervous, happy to be going back to work. In my case, I was very happy to be going back to work even though it's only one day. I was happy just to be having like adult interactions and adult conversation. But there is a whole other side, like anxiety about what are you going to do with your baby. You're going to put them in daycare, you're going to get someone to watch them, and all of that type of thing. And especially going back to work one day a week, we were thinking, is it really even worth it putting him in daycare? There wouldn't be much point in me even going back to work if that was the case. We decided to get my mum and dad to watch him every Wednesday night, and they drop him off on a Thursday night when I finish work. So when you return to work, there's usually a motivation behind it, whether you need to get out of the house, spend more time with adults, financial reasons you need to go back to work. There's a whole motivation behind why you're going back. Whatever your reasons are for returning back to work, you'll probably find that now that you're a parent, it raises a lot more practical issues. So things like childcare costs and like availabilities, getting into new family routines, and then also like you're handling a whole extra load of work as well as being a mum. A lot of mums that return to work do find that they have two jobs now. So I'll wake up in the morning, get ready for work, go to work, I'll come home, while we get dropped off, I have to make him dinner, give him a bath, put him to bed. You know, it's a big day. So I thought to help make the transition easier for any other mums that are thinking about going back to work anytime soon, I've written down a few little tips of my own and I will share them with you. Number one would be to make the changes before you go back to work. And a couple of weeks before I went back, I started putting Wolvie into a new routine. So he would go to his nana's on a Wednesday and then he would be dropped off on a Thursday night. So that was kind of like a whole new routine. And I tried to get him into that so he knew on a Wednesday night that's where he would be going. He wouldn't be with me, just so that he wasn't sooking or missing me. And he knew once I did actually start back at work that that's where he would be going, and that's just going to be his routine now. Number two would be to plan your childcare ahead of time. Actually plan Wolvie's childcare ahead of time, which sucks because it's so hard to get into a daycare down on the Gold Coast. They're all busy, packed, like we haven't been able to find one yet, so we're just on the waiting list for quite a few that we like. But most of them are full at the moment, so I do recommend researching probably even maybe a month or two before you're thinking about going back to work, just so that your baby, if you do want to put them into childcare, they've got somewhere to go. Number three would be to talk with family and friends about your plans. So discuss that you're thinking about going back to work and what do they think would work best, get their opinions, work from that, because sometimes they have ideas that you haven't even thought of yet. Number four would be plan all your food shortcuts. A big one is obviously use your slow cooker. You know, make the dinner the night before, put it in the slow cooker. Make it the morning before you go to work, put it in the slow cooker. It's so much easier. You come home, dinner's made. Also freezing meals, making big bunches of food and then storing them in the freezer, and then you've just got to come home and heat them up. Just easy things like that. Yeah, number five would be leave all your distractions at work. So the stuff that you do at work, don't bring it home. Like now that you're spending less time with your baby, all you're gonna wanna be doing is spending time with them when you are home. You do miss them a lot when you go back to work. I only work one day a week, and the minute I walk in that door, I already think, oh, I wonder what Wolvie's doing, I'm missing him already. Like, you don't want to have any of your work distractions at home. Number six is do what you can the night before. Make lunches, pack the bags, get your clothes ready, organise dinner for the next day. Anything that you can do the night before, do it, because it'll save you so much time. Number seven is definitely stick to your routine. So even though I'm at work on a Thursday, Wolvie is still doing his routine at his nana's. So he will still have the same nap, same lunchtime, same bedtime, everything while he's at my mum's, so it's not going to interrupt how he's learning or how he's sleeping. Me going back to work doesn't interrupt any of that. He's still sticking to the same routines, and then obviously when he comes home we're still doing the same routine. So he's not out of routine, he's just in a different house. And number 8 is have a backup carer. It's the hard way, and my mum knows that every Wednesday and Thursday she has Warby, and one week she accidentally just let it slip her mind and she made plans that she couldn't take Warby along to. So I was kind of like, oh my god, who's going to watch him now? All of our friends and family work and he's not in daycare. So I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm just going to have to not work on that Thursday. Like, I didn't have a backup. So I ended up having to get Will's little brother to watch Wool for half of the day, and then his sister to watch Wool for the other half. I mean, it worked out, but it was just stressful for me because I didn't know what I was going to do with Wool. Number 9, also have a backup plan for when they get sick. Obviously, if they're sick, one of you are going to have the day off work to watch the baby if you're both working full-time. Obviously, you cannot send them to a daycare when they're sick. That is something that I live by. I would never send my child to daycare when they're sick, with the risk of infecting every other kid that's there. Have your plan for who's going to be having that day off if they are sick. Usually it is the mum or the parent that is hasn't got the most high priority job, I guess. Lucky last, number 10, I would say organise some me time and some family time. So we like to have family time on the weekend when both Will and I aren't working, and we can spend time with Wolby together. Obviously every kid loves spending time with their mum and their dad, so we like to do that on a weekend. Even if it's just one day on the weekend that we've got some time spare to play with him or take him to the park, definitely. And then also make sure that you're having time for yourself. Like, you're a full-time mum at the same time as well. You'll definitely need some me time out. Always remember that your baby wants a happy mum, not a perfect one. I always tell myself that. So that is the end of this video. I hope that this helped in any way, shape or form. Any questions, be sure to drop them in the comments and I'll get back to you. So don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see some more videos. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!